Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today we are going to be talking about all the books that I need to read that are still on my shelf. I'm hoping that by telling you this and going through all these books, it helps me to read them faster and read them more sooner, because there's a lot. There's a lot. And I'm so excited to read all of these. I need to get on it. One of my goals this year, and we've only got like 6 months left, but like this year, I mean, from this point on until next August, I guess, I want to make it a really big priority to read all the books that I have yet to read on my shelf. I don't really have like a lot of books on my shelf that I haven't read, even though like this is probably like a lot, like my book addiction. But I think I'm getting better at not buying books when I know I'm probably not going to read them like really like soon. But there's still some books that just slip through the cracks, guys. And today we are going to be talking about them. First book we're going to be talking about is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Now, everyone loves this trilogy. I read this trilogy. I read the first, I would say first half of the book. I think, see, I even got to like chapter 12. Like I dog-eared the pages. I know that was bad. I just don't think I really was in the mood for reading this. I kind of felt like the story was just like really boring, and I really didn't like our main character that much, and I really hated Carden. But it's just because he was so mean. But then looking back at it, like he's literally called the Cruel Prince, so he's not gonna be anything but mean. Like duh. Like Holly Black was literally trying to give me a hint with the title. But I've always just kept this book on my shelf. Well, first off, just because it's literally so pretty. Like it's one of the most beautiful book covers I've ever seen. But also because I've always wanted to give it a second chance and read it again now, since like all the books in this series are out. And I even think Holly Black has said that she's hoping to write more books in this world in the future. I also just really love all the fan art surrounding this series. The fan art is iconic. Fan art really influences me and my reading taste. This is definitely a book that I really need to read, and I'm feeling like I'm up for it right now. Like I really feel like I'm ready to dive into this fairy realm. If you guys are interested, I think I might be doing a vlog when I read this book again. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Next up, we have Lovely War by Julie Berry. Oh my goodness, do I want to read this book. I have been dying to read this book ever since I got this, like last summer. So like a year ago. Like I said, a book addiction. But it's a book addiction that, you know, it's good for the soul. It's good for my brain. This book to me just sounds so unique, and I'm just so excited to read it. The narrator of this story is Aphrodite, and she's talking to her husband Hephaestus and Ares, which is the god of war. Through the book, she tells two stories, like two love stories. I think it's during World War I and II. I've already read like the first, like I think it's the first prologue or the first chapter, and it already sucked me in. So I'm like so excited to read this. And I also might do a reading vlog on this one, because I just think this book, I just have a feeling, you know, a really big gut book lover feeling that I'm going to love this. Also, if you guys have read any of these books, like let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed them or not. Don't give me any spoilers. They will be deleted. I've had to delete spoilers off of videos before, and not only does it spoil the people that read those comments, but it also spoils me when I have to delete them, which sucks. So please don't do that. Okay, the next books are like a bundle. So we're gonna be talking about my Colleen Hoover collection. I got these like a long time ago. Like I mean, I was like 15 when I got these, because I was like really on a high of like Abby Glines books and Colleen Hoover books. So I got like all of these. I even went to one of her book signings. Wait. I went to one of her book signings, and I even vlogged it, but I never posted it. Oh my gosh, look at that. She even wrote my name, Becca. Oh, that brings like so many memories. Let me see if she like signed. I don't know if I like bought these after the books. Oh my gosh, another signed one. Is this one signed too? I think before I went to her book signing, I like got like a lot of her books so that she could sign them. This one's not signed. And November 9, I don't think this one's signed either. So I think this one came out after. Oh, There it is. Yes, the Queen, Colleen Hoover. Everyone loves these books. I read a couple of her books back in the day. I don't really remember them, but I do remember I really liked them. And I always had these on my shelves. I just like never reached for them. But literally, Colleen Hoover is so funny on Book Talk, and like it's influencing me to read more of her books. And the fact that like her books just, everyone seems to just love them so much. So I need your opinion. I need you guys' opinion. Which one should I read next? I've got November 9, Ugly Love, Maybe Someday, and It Ends With Us. I don't know which one to pick. I don't know which one to reach for. Will all of these make me cry? I'm not sure. You know, I'm up for it. No book so far this year has made me cry. So I'm looking forward to it. No, but seriously, like, tell me which one to read. Okay. Yes, I have not read the Shatter Me series in whole. Like, I haven't read this book, so this is the third book in the series. It used to be a trilogy. I have been reading these books for a really long time. Like, I read the first book when I was like a senior in high school, and then I read the second book at the end of my freshman year of college, and I really loved that one. I've always been meaning to continue on with the series, especially since Tahira Mafi, like, she continued the series. There's now like 6 books. She's coming out with a novella very soon. I think maybe in November. The book cover for that, some people don't like it, but I just freaking love it. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's the pink, maybe it's the glitter, but I love it. But anyways, I kind of fell for one of the characters in the second book. I didn't see that plot twist of liking him coming, but I like him now, and I'm excited to see where this series goes. And also, it motivates me even more knowing that there's a novella that's coming out really soon, and I want to be there when it first comes out. Like, I want to be one of the first people to read it. I don't know why I'm like one of those book lovers. Like, I really want to be there with the fandom when the books come out, like the day it comes out. Like, that's the most exciting part about being in a book fandom, in my opinion. But yes, oh my gosh, seriously need to read this and the rest of the series before that next book comes out. Next up, we have Burn for Burn, and this is by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. I think that's how you say her name. I've only read one book by her, and it was that ice cream book. And I read it like right before, I read it like a few months ago. It's this one. What is it called? I don't know, but I'm visualizing the cover in my mind. Sweet. No. I know it's about ice cream. And of course, I love Jenny Han. So I'm excited to see what these two authors together can do. I think this is kind of like a revenge, contemporary kind of mystery book. It's a trilogy. Honestly, I just really want to read it also because I miss Jenny Han. I miss Jenny Han's writing. Guys, I love Jenny Han's books so much. Like, To All the Boys I Loved Before, beautiful. Love that trilogy so much. I wish we could get like maybe a bonus chapter. Maybe we will when, you know, To All the Boys I Loved Before turns 10. I also love Summer Turn Pretty trilogy. It's coming a TV show. So excited for that. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about the cast, because I'm so excited to watch that show. But ever since the last book and the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy came out, and since all the movies came out, Jenny Han has not published a new book, and I am having withdrawals. Since I'm having withdrawals, Burn for Burn is definitely up there on my TBR list. Next up, we have The School for Good and Evil. This is a middle grade. Book Talk actually is also another reason why I decided to buy this one and why I'm really excited to read this. I saw a Book Talk video where this girl was talking about these books and how like she grew up reading them and how she just really loves them so much. And I think it's becoming like a TV show or maybe a movie. But the way that people talk about these books and like this series is the way that I talk about Percy Jackson books, and how like I feel like in a way I grew up with Percy Jackson and those books because like they're just so near and dear to my heart. And that's something about middle grade books, is that like sometimes kids like grow up reading them. Like every single book comes out like the characters growing like older, like another year older, and so are you, and you feel like you've grown up with those characters, and there's something like so special about that. And so I just had to pick it up, and I am so excited to read this. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. The cover is so cool, and I've been wanting to read more middle grade books recently because, you know, I've been wanting to read more of Rick Riordan books because I haven't read a couple of his last series that he's published, and that makes me sad. So really excited to read this. The next book is The Young Elites by Marie Lu. Once again, this book has been on my shelf for, oh my gosh, like 6 years. It's been hiding there though. It's been hiding in the back. So maybe that's the reason. And I think I did start reading this before, but I don't. Sometimes like when you start reading a book and you're just like not in the mood for like that genre or that type of book, you like put it down and you're like, you want to read it later. And that's kind of what happened with this one. I love Marie Lu. Her books are so awesome. The Legend trilogy, OMG. OMG. Love that trilogy so much. I love her writing. Warcross, if you haven't read that book by her, go read it. You will thank me later. But I'm pretty sure this book takes on like a different turn. Like I think the main character is kind of a villain, which is really interesting. I haven't really read a book where like the main character is a villain, and I think that's really cool. So I'm really excited to read this one, especially since the entire trilogy has already been out. Hoping that this, you can't really see it with the angle that I'm going, but like I am creating another book tower, and I'm really hoping that this time it doesn't fall off because that would suck. Next book we have The Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I have not read a Marissa Meyer book since the last book in her Lunar Chronicles, which was, I think it was Winter. There's something about her stories that is really captivating, especially, you know, the Lunar Chronicles, and ever since those books she's always been a favorite author of mine. I still haven't read it, and I don't know why, because like there's so many people in the book world that like really love this trilogy, and I think it's already out. Like the trilogy is already out, and I hate that. Like some people love to like read books after like they've all came out so that they can read them like really fast and they can have all of the books, but I like waiting. Like I like reading with the fandom. Like I said before, it's like something, it's one of my favorite parts about being a part of the book community. But I'm really excited to read this. It gives me like superhero vibes. Does this not look like a comic? Like, does it not? It's a beautiful cover. Next up we have An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I got this book for Christmas. One of the books I asked for. It's a really, really popular series, and I think all the books are out in the series too, so I won't have to wait. This book is about a girl who has to be a spy on a different empire because of what they did to her brother, and it just sounds so interesting because then she starts maybe falling for somebody who's in that empire, and she's, you know, she's a spy, so she's pretending to be somebody who she's not, and that just sounds really fun. Like really, I love that, especially since I got this book for Christmas. That's why I'm like really, really excited to read it. Oh my gosh, this one, guys. Bloodlines by Richelle Mead. Richelle Mead is one of my favorite authors because of the Vampire Academy series. I did kind of grow up reading those books. I read all those books in high school, and like I just love those characters. They're so fun. That's one thing about Vampire Academy. They're just so fun, and the main character, Rose Hathaway, she's just so funny. And it's like you would think like it would be like more intense and like more brooding, you know, because it's like vampires. But like no, it's like really funny. If you haven't read those books, you really should. Bloodlines is a spin-off of Vampire Academy. I actually started reading this like, oh my gosh, during Christmas time. Because look at this. Bookmark, I was almost finished with this book. That pains me. I really think that I had almost finished reading it, but then another really highly anticipated book came out and I started reading that, and then I forgot that I was reading this, and that's why it's not finished. And I have the entire series on my bookshelf. Like every single book in the series I found at half price books for really cheap, and so I got all of them. So I had the entire series, so I need to read the entire series. And have you guys heard the rumor that they're making a Vampire Academy TV series? I don't even think it's a rumor anymore. I think it's like it's happening. I want to be back in this world again. I can't believe I was almost finished reading it and then stopped reading it. And it wasn't that I didn't like it. Like I think I was really loving it. It was just like there was another book and I like needed to read that one. I really wanted to read that one and I just forgot that I was reading this. So I think I still have it on Goodreads where I'm still reading it. Like it still says currently reading. Do you guys ever do that? Like with Goodreads, you're like currently reading a book, but then you'll start reading another book and like you're like, okay, well, I'll just keep that on my currently reading because like I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And then like 2 years go by and it's like I'm still currently reading this. And the last book that is on my I really need to read bookshelf TBR list is the Falling Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. This one has been on my shelf for a really, really long time. This is one of like the most favorited series like in the book community, I think. But I literally know nothing about it. Like I'll tell you what, I really don't. I think I'm sensing it's about 3 kingdoms. And their peace and then war and power Players, Royals, Rebels. I need to read it. OMG. Look at this. Casually hanging out with all my books. No, I haven't read a single one of these, but I will. I will soon. So, a little bit of a poll. Like, okay, what was that? Was that like dust? I don't know. From all these books that has been keeping dust on my shelves. Like, ugh. Let me know which book out of all of these you guys think I should read first. So, you guys have a lot to choose from. And, just narrow it down. Tell me which one in the comments you guys think I should read first. I will get to reading these. Hold me to it. Please, hold me to it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!